How's it, everyone, and welcome back. In today's disc review video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Punisher, a distance driver from Discraft. So let's go ahead and jump right in, taking a look at the flight numbers. The Punisher is a speed 12, glide 5, turn 0, fade of 3, and a stability of a 1.7. Being a speed 12, the Punisher is definitely a distance driver, and with that glide of 5, it really wants to stay in the air for a long time. Now you can see there is a very slight dome when it comes to the profile. If you do want a flatter version, I've noticed that the big Z and Zs do come very flat. The rim, as you can see, is standard driver size at about a 2.2 centimeter rim. So let's go ahead to the field and take a look at how the Punisher flies. For this video, I'm throwing the Punisher in 3 different plastics: ESP, titanium, and the Elite Z. Now I apologize, I didn't notice until editing that the titanium and the Z actually looked very similar on camera, so I did go ahead and put little notifiers at the top here showing which throw is which disc. In order to get a good comparison between the flight of each of the plastics, the weight is very similar to each. The ESP is actually the lightest at the 160 to about 163 versus the titanium and the Elite Z are sitting at the 164 to 166. What I really like with the Punisher is that you can get different types of shots just depending on the plastic. If you're wanting the more overstable version, I would go with this ESP. You can see that I can get it to turn over when thrown on a really extreme Anheuser angle, but it still really fights back. And then you have the titanium here. Look at how far it actually turned over before starting to fight its way back. And then the Z, very similar to the titanium, but it does come back a little bit sooner. Now, if you were to ask me to describe the flight patterns of each of the plastic types, I would have to say the most overstable is going to be the ESP. It holds straight, but then has a very harsh finish at the end. Now, I can get it to turn, but I do have to really force it over. Kind of right in the middle, I'd say the straightest is the Elite Z. You can definitely get a good flex on it, but I think if you throw it on a little bit of hyzer or flat, you're just going to get a really small, subtle turn, and then it's going to fight its way out just at the very end, but again, not an extremely harsh dump like the ESP would. Now, for the flippy ones, I'd say it's the titanium. Normally, titanium is not considered the flippiest, but at least personally with the discs that I have here, I can clearly say the titanium gets the most flex. It still has enough stability to fight out of it, but it really holds that Anheuser line for a lot longer than the other two. What I also really like about the Punisher is that it's a great forehand disc in combination to a good backhand disc. Because of its low profile with that kind of just very slight dome to it, I will say it is very comfortable to hold in the hand as a forehand disc. And again, for you people who really like really flat drivers, the big Z and then also most Zs are a lot flatter. Out on the course, the Punisher is such a versatile disc. Whether it's fighting headwinds, hitting that tight, straight wooded line, or being a big tailwind bomber shot, this disc really does it all. Now, for players with slower arm speeds to medium arm speeds like myself, you can still get a lot of use out of this disc. In fact, it is my main driver. For bigger arm speed players, they're going to be using this more as a big tailwind bomber shot, or also just as a really nice hyzer flip driver. Now, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please subscribe, please hit that like button, and also leave a comment. As well, if you want to see future videos, hit that bell to be notified of when a new video is released. And thank you to both Discraft and Riverside Pro Shop for their support.